with the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Well, everybody, happy XFL Monday.
It's a XFL hangover.
It is an XFL hangover if you don't have certain satellite company that can't get Fox 18 right now, but I got to watch a couple of the games. It's fine.
I
got to watch 2 of the 4.
You got to use your resources. This is 2020.
It is?
T-Roy, yeah. So I used our Amazon Fire Stick.
Well, I don't have one of those.
And loaded up the Fox Sports app.
Yeah.
I didn't... Legitimately, I feel this confident when I say this.
Yeah.
Nobody watched more XL football than I did this weekend in the Quad City area. I'm sure like Oliver Luck did, the commissioner of XFL did. I'm sure there's other people. Do we have a phone call already? Look at this. Ready?
Your cup's blocking it. I can't see.
Yeah, well, we do. Are you ready?
It looks like we have a phone call. Thanks for calling in to Don't Hassle Us Local. Who do we have?
Caw.
That's the call that you
St.
make.
Louis Battlehawks, baby. Hey, this is Erickson.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, my God. Erickson's a battle. You're a Battlehawker?
No.
I am now since the quarterback tweeted me on the Twitter, on the Tweety Bird.
Okay.
The quarterback.
Hold on a second.
Let's go through the scores real quick. So what, Jay? Do you have them pulled up? I want to figure this out on what happened and everywhere. So I saw that the Dragons got beat by the Defenders, but what was the final score, Jay?
You're driving. It's just like you're just making this up as you go. It's like I saw that.
Well, I can't remember everything. I mean, I drink a lot.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
First game, Erickson. All right, you're there still, right?
I'm here.
Okay. Let's go back to this, though. He said...
Let's just go through all the scores first.
No, let's not jump to this. Erickson saying the quarterback tweeted at me. I got to bring him down just a little bit. The backup quarterback tweeted
it's still
at
a quarterback.
I know it's a backup. But still, I mean...
you didn't see
I'm
this.
not going to lie. Listen, I trolled them a little bit. You know, these guys, they're drinking... They're slamming seltzers, they're biting the seltzers, and I'm like, okay, come on. Only St. Louis, only if you're from St. Louis do you slam seltzers. Come on now.
I don't know. I'd slam one. I'd slam one right now.
He tweeted me, you slam whatever you come up with, whatever you get. And I was like, all right, that's it. I'm a fan now.
Yeah, this caca thing came out of nowhere.
I'm from another Lou, so yeah, I mean, I'm from another Lou, and I'm proud. I'll slam it, too.
This caca thing came out of nowhere, and then that's now their new thing. It was cleared to engage was their hashtag. Now they're out there screaming afterwards, after the game, caca, caca.
That's from, you know what that's from?
No, what?
It's from Horrible Bosses.
Oh, okay.
Remember? The dude that looks like you?
Yeah, Charlie, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Let's do this.
Erickson, no, I'm going to get to it. Erickson's on the phone here.
Erickson can go through it with us.
Okay.
Just go through the scores.
I got a couple quick comments, Jay, and then I'll let you break it down, all right?
Okay.
I just wanted to say a couple things.
Sure.
I just want to say that, once again, great job promoting this, all you guys. I was dead wrong about this, and you guys nailed it. The XFL is awesome. It's here to stay, all you listeners out there.
So we're 50-50 on predicting
your suntan
expansion
lotion
leagues.
And jump on in, because this is here to stay.
Oh,
right?
boy.
You know, the XFL, what it reminds me of is, when you're just sitting around with your buddies watching the NFL, drinking, and you're like, oh, you know what would make the NFL better? Let's do this rule. Let's make 1, 2, or 3. Let's do an awesome kickoff rule. Let's hear the plays before they're called in the huddle. Like, all these things that we've been looking for as fans, they're finally here. And I'm just thrilled. I love it.
Well, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to get Jay out the door.
Well, get out of here.
Pumping his little head up.
Get out of here.
And my last comment is just, you guys were the first, to promote gambling here in Iowa. You were the first to announce DraftKings, and now you guys are the first to promote the XFL, and I just want to say you're doing an awesome job, and I'm a proud listener. And what more do you want in a local sports radio station?
I would love to be able to record what you just said. That's one thing I want.
It is recorded. Yeah, we'll come back.
All right, that way I want to replay that over and over again.
We'll put that in a bumper.
Put that in a bumper.
Yeah.
And I like to play that for the powers that be.
Yeah.
If you're out there listening, did you hear what he just said? We're the first.
Yep, sounds
the best.
You need to sign these guys right now.
There you go. There you go. Get on them, Quad Cities.
Before you get scooped up by Sirius or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which some of these quarterbacks that might be getting scooped up by the NFL. I'll wait till you can hear my quarterback power rankings after week 1, Erickson.
I can't wait.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. But hey, I just wanted to say that, and I'll hang up and listen to you break this down.
All right, thanks.
All right, give me the scores, Foster.
Okay. We have our first game. That's Matt Erickson calling in. We appreciate him calling in. And you guys can call in anytime you want to here at ESPN 1170. Don't hassle us for local at 391-3776. I want to remind everybody that you can listen on the ESPN app, ESPN 1170. Go to your Google Play Store, your App Store. Download ESPN 1170 AM. You can listen on ESPN1170am.com. And you can also listen and watch us on Facebook Live. Go to Don't Hassle Us, we're local on Facebook. We're on Facebook Live, and I don't know right now. I know our boy is recovering. He might be monitoring the chat room from afar.
I talked to StatCat on Saturday. Gave him a quick call. He was in doing a little PT. Sounded good.
How do you want me to give you the scores? I felt through these things, my experience, or the exact scores?
I don't want to hear any extra talk. I just want the GD score.
Okay. First game of the XFL season.
That's extra talk. Just give me the
Seattle Defenders, Seattle Dragons, DC Defenders. Defenders win 31-19.
And cover the spread.
We'll definitely get to that.
Okay. All right. Now, give me the Wildcats Roughnecks. Roughnecks won.
They did, 37-17.
And they also covered.
They did.
All right. Now. Let's get to my Vipers.
Oh, boy. We got a lot to talk about these Vipers.
Did they even score 3 points?
They scored 3 points exactly. It was 23-3. Guardians won.
They were favored by 3, and they only scored 3. Okay, so they suck. All right. And then the Dallas Renegades. They
failed to score a touchdown as well. They lost 15-9.
9 is what they were favored by.
Caw-caw! The St. Louis Battlehawks.
So the two teams that were the best in the league, allegedly, only scored as many points as they were favored by.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted. That was I was getting to.
If we look at last week's power rankings by CBS Sports, they did have the DC Defenders at 1. So I will tell you right now, the DC Defenders are not on my number 1 on my power.
Yeah. So Jaybird, you 1, 2. And you went against your Battlehawks, 2-2. If you just bet with your heart a little bit,
that would have gone 3-1.
You went 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Well, it won't happen again. I'm smarter now.
I went 1-3. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Sergi got 1, 2. Sergi was also 2-2. What about Adam? 1, 2, 3-1.
Look at that.
Look at Adam right off the bat.
The Front Street.
Just coming in and dominating. Dominating with the knowledge. Look at that. Insane.
So, I decided on Saturday morning, all right? I'm going to take a trip up to Rhythm City, and I'm going to make a bet on the XFL.
All right.
My first thought was this. In the AAF, something like 9 out of the first 10 games, the under hit. So so right away I'm gonna bet the under on every single game.
Which you would have been wrong with the first 2, correct?
I'm gonna get to that.
All right.
So I tell myself I'm gonna bet the under on every single game, and then I said, why don't I just? Vegas is not that dumb. Why don't I just take a money line parlay, meaning I just bet the teams to win for all the favorites. All right. So I think that was, and it was a small. There were just small ones because, honestly, my favorite part about it was you go up to before you make the bet, you can go and get a sheet at Rhythm City Elite Sportsbook. It's to the left. So you can pull out, NBA, NCAA, hockey, whatever out there, right? So I pull up XFL. Never met this guy before in my life. Guy looks over and goes, XFL, huh? Yep. He goes, "You're a true degenerate." I said, "Yep."
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, so I go, "Yep." And I said, "Hammer the unders."
That's what you said.
I said to him, "Hammer the unders all day long."
All right. So what were the over-unders then?
The Seattle Dragons, the DC Defenders, the over-under was 51.
Well, and that hit 50.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
All right. What's the next one?
51.
Roughnecks Wildcats.
Yep, it was 51. Yep.
That one was 51 as well?
Yep. They were both 51.
Both 51. Okay. Vipers Guardians.
52 and a half.
Way under.
Uh-huh.
Battlehawks Renegades.
54.
Good God, Jay. Tell me you did all of them?
I did all of them.
Under?
Yeah.
So you hit it all. You got all 4.
3 and 1.
What do you mean? They all went under.
No. LA Wildcats Roughnecks hit 54. That was 51.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Let me explain something about how great that first game the Seattle Dragons DC Defenders was. You would think like I had large amount of money invested. I'm screaming at the TV. When Brandon Silvers goes down as the Dragons quarterback, I am like, no way, because then they're bringing in B.J. McDaniels. And I'm like, oh, new quarterback. The Dragons kicked a field goal. Are you with me?
Uh-huh.
To make the score 31-22. There was a roughing the kicker call. They accepted the penalty and they took the ball and got the first down. Then they drove close enough. They were within the 5-yard line. And then they turned the ball over within the 5. They fumbled. That over-under would have hit, and they would have covered spread, that 9.5, if they didn't accept that penalty. That's how much fun that first game was. That I got to scream and yell at the TV and cuss out Brandon Silvers and everything else. They really started off well, and we'll get to the rules and everything else. Now, the Roughnecks to Wildcats, that was just a situation where the Roughnecks in the second half, they just dominated. So the overhit. And then the Guardians, Vipers, that was easy money. And the Renegades, their starting quarterback, the so-called face league, Landry Jones, he was out. Their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And we knew that he was out 4 to 6 weeks ago. He dressed, but he had a bum knee. Their quarterback, Philip Nelson, what did they say at the beginning of the game? That up until 3 or 4 weeks ago, or a month ago, 2 months ago, he was an Instagram model.
Who was that?
Yeah, that's true. Landry Jones was hanging drywall 6 months ago. So
they actually, Instagram's been reaching out to me. They want me to be the dad bod.
Yeah,
and which is cool. Now that I'm still kind of bronze, you know, so I'm still a little bronze. No.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, you still got your color.
Yeah.
So
it's that, and it's the beard, Jay. The little salt, you know, the little salt, that Arctic blonde that I got going. Yeah.
So the money line. So by this point I now have 2 out of the 4 legs of the parlay working, right?
Right.
So I go into Sunday's 1:00 kickoff, Vipers and Guardians, and I'm well invested in this now, to the point where I was like, I should probably go and hedge the bet, go bet the money the other side. But oh well, the Vipers are awful. I'm tweeting.
Yeah, I saw your tweets. Man.
Aaron Murray needs to go. I'm telling Rothy, you're right. Quentin Flowers, Rothy's dead on. Aaron Murray is a 29-year-old quarterback, and he's like he's like career passing yards and attempts, everything else in the SEC. When he was at Georgia, he was a 4-year starter for him. But he's got no receivers. Vipers are really bad, and the fact that you've got Tressman and Glanville, 7 decades of coaching between the two of them, the Vipers are in big trouble. And then you have the Renegades. They didn't score a touchdown. Battlehawks. I mean, for the first 2, how great they were on Saturday. Sunday was the reason that some of those people who are like, this is bad football, especially if you watch the Vipers, this is bad football, blah, blah, blah. That's what's going to keep the naysayers alive, was Sundays.
Well, I tuned into the Renegades game. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I thought, oh, my God, this is horrible. Especially when I was trying to watch the Battlehawks, and Long's headset went out, so he couldn't talk, or he couldn't talk to the quarterback, so they had that going on. Well, it was good to see our
it's the
boy Chuck.
Renegades.
It was good to see our boy Chuck though up in the thing.
You, by the way, at home, I stopped at Pints. Daughter was after first half. My daughter was at volleyball, and then somewhere else. Every time when someone goes, "Is that Chuck Long?" Well, I first had to tell my wife, but the other people, "Is that Chuck Long?" I go, "Yeah, that's my friend Chuck Long. I talked to him before the season about this." Yeah, they're like, "Your friend?" I'm like, "Yeah, I talked to him about this."
You're our big thing. We need to call him.
This probably would have been the day to get a hold of him afterwards because they're probably
wait
go
till
back
week
to practice. Yeah.
Wait till week 2. Say, Chuck, how's it going? 2 weeks under your belt.
Well, okay, the Houston is it the Houston Roughnecks? I believe it's the Houston Roughnecks, and someone can tell me if I'm wrong. Their long snapper is from Bettendorf. He played football for him. He played football at Carnegie Mellon.
Who is the punter for somebody? King? Is that guy that used to punt for the NFL? Maurice King?
I think so. Yeah.
Didn't he punt for the?
Is he the
Raiders?
one that dropped that ball like right down there at the?
Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of rules that we'll talk about. I will say this about Sunday. If Saturday there was more action, it was more fun and scoring, and it's a fast-paced game. Sunday, Greg Olson called a great game. Kevin Burkhardt, I believe, is the other guy. They did a great job on the first game, Vipers and Guardians.
Second game had Pat.
It was. I've never shook Pat's hand. I've never tweeted at Pat McAfee. I've never done anything. As soon as he was on the sidelines, my voice chirped up. "Oh, Pat's here! This is gonna be great." Tim goes,
Dude.
"What are you doing? Who are you talking to?"
Seriously, by the way, I don't want him to move away because I like having him here. But Anger needs to do this.
Oh yeah, he'd be great.
He'd tear this up. Totally tear this up.
But yeah, it was. So McAfee was great on the sidelines. When I was driving, I got to listen to some of the broadcast on Sirius XM, ESPN, because I want to hear the game. He had Troy Aikman on sideline. It was great. Like they were so close. A play came in, and he goes, Pat says to Troy Aikman, "Troy, get out of the way, man." Because Troy's like, "Oh, he almost got me killed." Pay attention out there. And Troy was breaking some things down.
Where was he at the Dallas game?
Yeah. He went there to go see Moose Johnston, who's not the GM, but like director of player personnel or something like that.
Moose was involved in AAF too.
I think so, yeah. But we'll look a lot at the games. We'll look a lot at the changes, the most important ones of the rules, and the ones that I think that people were kind of pointing out the most. And I'll give you my power rankings. I'll give you my QB power rankings.
I'm pumped.
I played a lot of DraftKings too. I did a lot of stuff for XFL this weekend. Unfortunately, here's the thing. What was it? I'll give you this. 4.5 million watched the first game. 3.3 watched AAF. They all were roughly around 16 to 17,000 in attendance.
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter. Everybody had 17,000 at least on the seats.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Rare is there going to be a weekend now for the next 9 weeks, and then including playoffs, that I'm going to have the time to watch like I did this one. There's going to be volleyball tournaments. There's going to be softball tournaments. There's going to be wrestling that I have to be at. But that's what's going to make it happen, is if they can pick up more people in week 3, in week 7, week 9, week 10, that people keep coming back for it.
Well, it's going to be, obviously, the home teams that won, the 3 that won, I mean, they should have people coming back. Okay? Yeah. Dallas, who knows? The Renegades, they didn't look bad. They didn't look good.
They're going to be fine.
Weren't they playing with a backup quarterback?
Yeah. They had Philip Nelson, yeah.
All right, so that, I think they're going to be fine. Battlehawks look decent. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a weird game. The ones you got to worry about are seriously the Vipers, because
it's bad.
There's a lot to do in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm getting at?
Oh, yeah.
It ain't like the Buccaneers even set attendance records.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm getting at?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Wildcats threw up some points. The Dragons threw up some points. I would be worried, though, with L.A., because another city where there's a lot to do in L.A. You lose your second game in a row like that, you're not going to get attendance for the Wildcats. I think Seattle will probably follow the Dragons. They got some good football fans there, but I don't look at Seattle and Tampa Bay as quote unquote great football cities. Mm-hmm. And then that's not a knock on Rams fans or on Buccaneer fans, but overall you have to admit those cities aren't typically what you go to for when you think football, and that's where I would be worried.
Well, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the rule changes, some of the different rules, what we liked about it, and then I'll give you our first set of power rankings.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
All right.
Harrington's Pub is the Quad City's premier Irish pub. Come celebrate any day of the week at Harrington's and enjoy the best specials around. Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 is happy hour with 250 domestic bottles, drafts, and wells. And today is Monday, Jay Bird. That means $4 absolute meals all day. So come check out Harrington's Pub, putting the H in a hangover since 2005, 2321 Cumberland Square in Bettendorf.
This is Matt Koss of the Quad City Times, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Precision Air team's starting lineup. First, let's welcome the masters of comfort and efficiency, your residential and commercial heating and AC service team. Next up, put your hands together for the All-Star Furnace and AC installation team, the trained dealer comfort specialist. And finally, your Quad Cities geothermal specialist. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Precision Air starting lineup. Financing available online at PrecisionAirQC.com. Precision Air. We'll be right there.
With the loss of a loved one, planning a fitting service can be a real challenge. At Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, with our personalized service and attention to detail, you can be confident the service will be everything you wished for. We've been serving families in our area for generations. We would be privileged to serve yours too. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Sí, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Roy, who is feeling older every day, and I think this is universal for people in sports, that you sort of can calendar your own age by guys you saw growing up playing when you loved sports, having kids who are now playing sports. But Roy has never felt older than he did during the break when, very sadly, he just said to me, Frank Gore's kid has enrolled at Southern Miss, and it's the first time you can remember an active athlete of any sort having a kid, but it's only because Frank Gore has been in the league 4 yards at a time since 1982.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Why would you when you still get 4 yards?
Frank Gore Jr. is going to put it on the poll, Antonio. Is Frank Gore Jr. going to retire from football sooner than Frank Gore Sr.?
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Make your next new or used purchase a slam dunk at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll have the full court press advantage each and every time. You'll be treated like a star from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
How much time did Lucio spend brushing your eyebrows?
It's just a quick little and another on the other side.
I feel like maybe save the eyebrow brushing time and focus a little more on the hair brushing time.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's another issue.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Like, what am I going to do with this and then just put, like, headphones on top of it and mess it up? Lucio, I don't want to ruin his art.
You're in the awkward stage right now of, like, the haircuts where before, obviously, you'd kind of, like, buzz it. Now it's grown to a point where it's not long enough to actually do anything with, but it's too long to just sit still.
It's one of those deals where I'm, like, thinking to myself, man, what am I going to do with my hair whenever I live on television? You're just going to have to be vulnerable, deal with the awkwardness, and then, 2 years from now, brave, baby.
How'd you guys feel about I Live on Television?
I have been ever since his Le Batard load management nonsense.
Yes, I didn't ask for any of this.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
At Casey's, we're not just here for our town. We're here for our schools. Introducing new Casey's Rewards, the new rewards program from Casey's that lets you turn your purchases into donations to your school. Sign up in the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into school donations, Casey's Cash, or fuel discounts. New Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good.
Get local sports on Alexa. Enable the ESPN 1170 skill. Then tell Alexa to play ESPN 1170 and listen to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Noon to 2. Only on ESPN 1170 AM.
Hi, Robin.
Do it, Jay.
Ludicrous. It's a pretty big word, ludicrous.
We were just commenting off the air, everybody. You're back here on Don't
We were
Hassle Us
talking about
Local.
the Oscars and Brad Pitt.
We're talking about Brad Pitt. My favorite Brad Pitt story is Mike Tyson telling the story of when he was still married to Robin Givens and he came home or came to the house and Brad Pitt was there trying to play hanky panky with Robin, and he said he says he didn't run. I'm just like, and Jay's like, I'd run too. I'm like, oh yeah, you know what else I wouldn't do? Be messing with Mike Tyson's lady.
Nope.
I just say pass.
No. All right. So, the XFL.
Yes, Jay, this is your favorite thing right now.
It is my favorite
You're
thing.
so excited. They're going to change your middle name. Yep.
Listen.
You won't be able to have that neat little name or middle name thing going with those quarterbacks anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to go from Allen to XFL Foster.
The XFL Schefter. XF Schefter. Anyway.
We're going to call you X Shefty.
X Shefty. All right. So we went through the scores. Here's what I need to ask you, though. Do you want to guess the lines for week 2? Or do you want me to give the power ranking? Because if I give the power ranking, so you might skew where you think the lines are.
Let's guess the lines first.
Okay. I'm good where you're at. All right. So, we did this, for those of you who are familiar with the show, we do this every Monday. We would guess the lines for the NFL. So, the only thing we have to do is cross our fingers and hope that it's... wait, I can't look at it. We don't have search. Sorry, because he's back.
Well, I'll guess them. We just won't go head-to-head. We'll see how good I am.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Since this is a new league.
Yeah.
Until Sergi gets back from recovery.
On his feet. Come on. There we go. Game lines. Full game.
I hear Sergi passed out at 31 Flavors last night.
Oh. XFL doesn't have any full games. All right, let's make a guess then.
All right, what do you got? What's game 1?
Well, you're just like right on my butt about this already. Like,
well, I don't know.
It's like you think I had like all these windows pulled up to XFL. Like that's not all I do.
I think that's all you do. That is exactly what I think.
Okay, let's get the schedule here. All right.
You just said I spent the entire. I have a Fire Stick that has XFL on it.
I have Fox on it.
Oh,
all right.
All right.
On Saturday, February 15th.
Day after Lover's Day.
The New York Guardians.
You know what we call, by the way, you know what we call Valentine's Day at my house? Huggy Bear Day, Corey Nolan Day, Lovers in Love Day. He's the most loving man I know.
Okay.
Huggy Bear.
On Saturday, 1 o'clock kickoff. New York Guardians at the DC Defenders. Both undefeated.
Guardians at Defenders.
New York was a home dog against the Tampa Bay Vipers and won 23-3 in week 1. The DC Defenders, they won 31-19. They covered their spread. It was minus 9.5. Only 2 teams covered the spread this week.
All right, I got Defenders minus 6.5 here.
Okay, I'm going to have to make a guess here. That's a pretty solid guess, but Matt McGloin looked good. Cardell, I think that might be a little high.
Okay.
I'm going to go under that. I'm going to go minus 4.5.
All right, Jay's going minus 4.5.
Then in the afternoon, it's green on green crime. Tampa Bay Vipers at the Seattle Dragons.
Oh, boy.
This will be Seattle's first home game.
Vipers at the Dragons. So we got...
Tampa Bay's not going to be home till week 3.
Oof. They are going to start out 0-2. Okay, this one here. Vipers are supposedly so good, but not. Do they make the quarterback change, Jay? That's the thing. But until they do, I got Dragons minus 5.
Dragons minus 5. Let's see. I actually liked what the Dragons were doing. I don't know if Brandon Silver is going to be the man though. 5 is good, but I'll go higher than that because I don't really have a lot of faith. I'm going to go just all the way up to 6.5.
All right.
Now the next game in XFL Week 2. The Dallas Renegades at the Los Angeles Wildcats. Wildcats, they lost their game to the Houston Roughnecks. Dallas Renegades lost at home. This will be
one of these teams is going to be 0-2, Jay.
This will be LA's first game. This will be played at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. This is going to be a 2 o'clock kickoff, not a 1 o'clock. It'll be on ABC.
I think much as what happened in that game, if Dallas's quarterback's coming back healthy, I'm going to say Renegades by 3.
I'm actually going to take I'm going to stick with a home favorite. So I'm going to go the opposite direction. And I'm going to go LA Wildcats minus 3.5.
All right.
And then finally, the Battlehawks of St. Louis. Again, in the main event.
On the road again?
They're on, yeah. At Houston.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Can they go down to Texas twice?
And do it. This will be at TDECU Stadium in Houston, Texas. 5 o'clock start on FS1. I'll go first.
All right.
I'm going to go Houston. I've got Houston minus 5.
I got Houston minus 6.
Okay. Just to have some fun with this, I will give you the first game, and that is the first game, Guardians at DC.
Yeah.
Probably the over-under set at 55. That's my guess.
You're saying 55 on
55.
this one?
Yep. Tampa Bay at Seattle.
Guardians.
That's going to be, I know what that one's going to be.
Guardians and the Defenders. You're saying 55.
55 over under.
I'm going to go 56.
Okay. Tampa Bay Vipers at Seattle Dragons. I got the over under back at the 51.
Vipers and Dragons. You got it at 51.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking that one down to 45.5.
Wow. I'm going to sweat that one through. Dallas at LA Wildcats. That's at 52.5. 52.5.
Dallas and the Wildcats. You said what? 52 what?
52.5.
52.5. And that one, I'm going to go 46.
Okay. And finally, the Battlehawks at Houston. I've got the over-under set at 54.5.
54.5. Battlehawks, Houston. I got that one at 51.
I've got these written down. You've got them written down, right?
Yep.
Jake from Elite Sportsbook is going to join us tomorrow. He'll probably have the line set up for us by then. So I'll make sure.
Got them written down.
Got them written down. I like that. All right.
Power rankings, Bird.
The power rankings. My very first set of XFL power rankings.
And you did them yourself.
I did them myself.
All right. Because you are ex-Shefty.
I'm ex-Shefty. My very first. Now, last week we gave you CBS Sports power rankings. All right?
Which I wrote down somewhere. I got them right here.
Okay. The power rankings as of last week. You give them to me in any order you want. This is based CBSSports.com.
What CBS had last week from 1 through 8.
Okay.
The Defenders.
All right.
The Renegades.
Okay.
The Wildcats. The Vipers. The Guardians. The Battlehawks. The Roughnecks and the Dragons.
Okay. There's a shakeup. I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. So week 2.
Okay. Week 2.
You starting out at 8?
The QC, so I'm starting at 8. It is no shock at all that it is the Tampa Bay Vipers at number 8. They're in some serious trouble.
Okay.
Their receivers can't catch. I don't know who's coming out of the backfield running for them. They brought in Quentin Flowers, but never let him stay consistently in there. Then when his first series, when he came in the second half, it was 3rd and 11. Then they brought Aaron Murray back in, who had a strip sack, and luckily they recovered the ball. Aaron Murray had 2 interceptions and a fumble, and they still never really committed to Quentin Flowers till the game was out of reach in the fourth quarter. Trestman doesn't know what he's doing. Jerry Glanville looks 100% different than the Jerry Glanville we ever remember seeing.
Was he just old?
Nah, he got work done. He doesn't look old.
Oh, he looks like...
he just looks different.
Okay.
At one point, there's a picture that I saw that he's got 2 headsets on. Tampa Bay Vipers are at number 8.
Okay.
Okay. At number 7
Okay.
is the Los Angeles Wildcats.
Okay.
Now, the Roughnecks look good. And the Wildcats, they put up a fight. All right? But I don't know if you could say it's all P.J. Walker for the Roughnecks. I don't know, but they did have the thing about L.A. right now is we don't know when Josh Johnson's coming back. The man who played for 13 NFL teams. They had a backup. It was Charles Canoff. He went 21 for 40 with 214 yards.
How are these guys injured in the first game? Did they get injured?
No, he was injured. He got injured in practice. Andrew Jones got injured 4 weeks ago. So, L.A. can always make that jump, but right now they're at 7.
Landry Jones, you mean?
Yeah, Landry Jones, yeah. I'm saying right now, L.A., yeah, what did I say?
Andrew.
All right, Landry. L.A. at 7.
Okay.
At number 6, Seattle Dragons.
Ooh, they moved up.
Only by, that's how bad Tampa Bay was in L.A. I mean, we don't know what's going on with their quarterback.
All right.
Brandon Silvers, he threw 21 for 40, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They were close to covering it, but that was about it, how much they were in the game against the DC Defenders. That field goal itself. There was a flag. Like I said, then they accepted it. If they would have scored either the field goal or got the touchdown, the over would have hit, and they would have covered spread. But they're at 6.
Mm-hmm. Did you see this from Surge, by the way? Our Survivor League is down to 4 after week 1. 14 players. We're down to 4 after week 1. Stat cat in the house.
All right, so at number 5, the Dallas Renegades.
I figured.
Yeah. They've got to figure out a way to score. Obviously, St. Louis has a pretty decent defense, right?
If you put St. Louis at number 1, I'm calling BS on your rankings.
You're gonna have to pay attention. You're gonna have to tune in.
I'm tuning in
to the
right
next
here.
4.
Just saying here.
All right. Dallas Renegades, like I said, Philip Nelson was their quarterback. He was 33 for 42, 209 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. At number 4, the XFL Power Rankings Week 2, the New York Guardians. What do you mean, mm-hmm?
All right, let's go.
Matt McGloin was workmanlike. 15 of 29, 182 yards, 1 touchdown. It was really the defense here that did this for the Guardians. 2 interceptions, fumble recovery, and that's really what put the Guardians over the top here. So, I had the Guardians at number 4. Number 3 is the St. Louis Battlehawks.
All right.
Their quarterback is what's going to make them successful. Jordan Ta'amu. You can call him the throwing Samoan.
Throwing Samoan.
He was 20 of 27.
By the way,
no, I did not make that up.
All right, I was just going to say, if you made that up.
I think they called him that when he was at Ole Miss. All right.
Well, he's good.
He was
Did
20
you see
of
him interview him on the sideline?
No.
Oh, he was great.
He was 20 of 27, 209 yards, had 77 rushing yards. St. Louis Battlehawks at number 3. Number 2 is the DC Defenders.
All right.
We know Cardell Jones from his time at Ohio State. He was 16 of 26, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had a good crowd there. DC Defenders look good. Gave up a little bit more points than I'd like, but they were good. And then at number 1 is the Houston Roughnecks. They've got what might be considered the best quarterback or the MVP so far in P.J. Walker. He's a former Temple quarterback. He's a little bit shorter than what people like, and sometimes there's the knock on him that he has a slow 40, but he had nearly 300 yards total offense. He had 4 touchdowns, and for the beginning of the season, that's a good start for them. Where he falls on my quarterback power rankings after week 1, we'll have to find out later in the show.
He probably ranks number 1.
We'll have to find out.
He probably ranks number 1. I disagree with some of this.
Where can you disagree when you saw 2 games out of 4?
I'm just saying, I saw a lot. I saw highlights, Jay.
Okay.
I would put them defenders ahead of the Roughnecks. And I'd put the Guardians ahead of the Battlehawks.
No.
Okay.
Did you see the Seattle Dragons player who dropped the F-bomb?
Yeah. That was great.
Oh, yeah. Did
you see Frank Caliendo thing on Twitter afterwards? It was
no.
pretty good. Caliendo was doing Gruden, and then
Yeah.
he had, like, I don't know, his daughter or somebody doing impersonations with him. Yeah, it was pretty funny. You have to check it out. It's like they were just on the couch watching. You hear that guy right there.
We're going to take our second break of the hour. When we come back, I'll give you my quarterback power rankings, and then I will chill out on the XFL for a little bit.
You're going to chill out on the XFL?
Well, we got other things to talk about. We've got NFL.
I got NFL stuff.
We got NFL to talk about. They're finally announcing that Phillip Rivers is now a free agent. He won't be with the Chargers, even though it's one of those worst-kept secrets.
Saw an interesting breakdown on possible landing places for Tom Brady, too. Places that do and don't make sense. So, kind of ties into what you were talking last week.
Yeah. So let's take our break. Come back. I'll give you power rankings for quarterbacks. And, hey, you can use these for your DraftKings for XFL. I don't know why you're like not on board with this.
I am on board.
You're just kind of like, no, it's lukewarm.
What do you mean?
It's lukewarm. That's what I'm saying.
Well, this thing with Fox 18 and my satellite company, who I can't name, it's really making me mad.
All right.
I need to be able to watch my stuff.
Got to get you a Fire Stick or something, just for this.
All right, pizza lovers.
Get an antenna.
I'm working on stuff, man.
Okay.
Vans Pizza and More is now open in Bettendorf. That's right. It's right there by the corner of Forest and Middle Grove. Middle and Forest Grove Roads, right there by the Plex. They have outstanding daily specials with that Vans Pizza you love. Oh, man, I can't even talk anymore. Vans, all you have to do is give them a call at 563-232-1396, and they'll have it hot and ready for you to pick up, or you can have it delivered. Delivery area is limited, so make sure you ask when you call. Once again, that number, 563-232-1396. Today's Monday Bird, that's 2 large, 2-topping pizzas, 2 liters of pop, and boneless wings for $7, $21.99 for the other 2. Anyway, let's get me through this ad. Take me out of here and shoot me. Done.
This is Lobo from Lobo Salsa. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
Back by popular demand. Gobo Productions presents One Night of Queen. Since forming in 2002, Gary Mullen and the Works have performed to sellout audiences all over the world. And now they're back in the USA for a brand new tour. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. You'll hear classic Queen numbers including We Will Rock You, Fat Bottom Girls, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and We Are the Champions. One Night of Queen, performed by Gary Mullen and the Works. This show will rock you.
Coming to the TaxSlayer Center March 18th. Tickets are on sale now at the TaxSlayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by Town Square Media.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Roy, who is feeling older every day, and I think this is universal for people in sports, that you sort of can calendar your own age by guys you saw growing up playing when you loved sports, having kids who are now playing sports. But Roy has never felt older than he did during the break when, very sadly, he just said to me, Frank Gore's kid has enrolled at Southern Miss, and it's the first time you can remember an active athlete of any sort having a kid, but it's only because Frank Gore has been in the league 4 yards at a time since 1982.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
Why would you when you can still get 4 yards?
Frank Gore Jr. is going to put it on the poll, Antonio. Is Frank Gore Jr. going to retire from football sooner than Frank Gore Sr.?
The Dan Lebitard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Ace Muffler Clinic has been serving the Quad Cities area for over 60 years. There's a reason why our customers continue to trust us with their vehicles. We can fix almost anything. We can fix your muffler, tune your brakes, change your oil, change your tires, replace your battery, customize your exhaust, tune your engine, repair your suspension, replace your radiator and your water pump. Align your automobile, refill your transmission fluid, and change your filters. And we believe in doing all those things right the first time. For fast, friendly service, visit Ace Muffler Clinic at 4th Ave and 15th Street in Rock Island.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
How much time did Lucio spend brushing your eyebrows?
It's just a quick little and another on the other side.
I feel like maybe save the eyebrow brushing time and focus a little more on the hair brushing time.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's another issue.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Like, what am I going to do with this and then just put, like, headphones on top of it and mess it up? Lucy, I don't want to ruin his art.
You're in the awkward stage right now of, like, the haircuts where before, obviously, you'd kind of, like, buzz it. Now it's grown to a point where it's not long enough to actually do anything with, but it's too long to just sit still.
It's one of those deals where I'm, like, thinking to myself, man, what am I going to do with my hair? Whatever, I live on television. You're just going to have to be vulnerable, deal with the awkwardness, and then, 2 years from now, brave.
How'd you guys feel about I live on television?
I have been ever since his Lebitard load management nonsense.
Yes, I didn't ask for any of this.
The Dan Lebitard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Town Square Media and the Better Business Bureau are sponsoring the Quad Cities Business Expo at Jumer's Casino Rock Island on February 12th from 11 to 8 p.m. See what top businesses and speakers in the Quad Cities have to help your business succeed, improve efficiencies, make your business and home life better. Admission is free and open to the public. Pre-register online for a chance to win a free limited trip from Landjet Mobile Offices, free LED lighting from Yellow Blue LED, and many more prizes. Register today at qcbusinessexpo.com. That's qcbusinessexpo.com.
Win stuff. Yes, you. Download the ESPN 1170 app today. Be a winner for the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, everybody, back here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. And you're listening to Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170.
Still riding those good vibes from the weekend.
Oh, jeez. You're a weirdo.
I feel like I'm Hannibal from A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. The second time, not the first time.
Uh-huh.
The first time, that's the one we don't talk about.
You don't talk about that?
No.
Okay.
That's why, listen... What proper planning, right?
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
That's why the XFL waited 2 years to kick off.
That's it. That's why?
Yes, prior proper planning prevents piss poor for performance. Supposedly they did
that in the military.
They did all the studies, whatever else. 17 weeks of football, 3 weeks of playoffs, 2 weeks off in the Super Bowl. So let's do that there. 2022. That's not even half a year. There are like 40 million people out there want to see more football.
Okay.
So they looked at some things and changed them. What did you think about the kickoff?
From everything I saw, I liked it. Mm-hmm. Certainly, for everybody out there who's concerned about CTE and everything else, that eliminates it, right?
All right. So
that eliminates, and it
the kickoff
certainly does give you, if you come up with some unique blocking schemes. If you can figure some stuff out or whatever you're going to try to do, if your guy's fast enough, you can certainly come up with some things.
The first kickoff I saw, first or second, I was like, someone's going to bust one open here. It looks like, and nobody did all weekend.
Yeah.
And so they moved the kicker back 5 yards from where the NFL is.
Yeah.
What they don't want is they don't want touchbacks.
Yeah, they don't want touchbacks. They want a kick return without the heavy duty collisions.
Yes, that you're running down the field into just
right. So, and I think what we'll get is eventually some of these great minds, these offensive minds, will come up with some blocking schemes. It's just 5 yards, but they'll come up with something. Somebody's going to pull from one position to go block somewhere else so that way so and so can get through the hole. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen.
The big one that people took away also, the kickoffs were big, but it's the transparency when it comes to
the play calling.
Well, both in the instant replay.
All right, my problem with the play calling, and I might be the only one that had a problem with it. Is so the following week. Okay, let's say week 1.
Yeah.
Jay, you're calling a play, and it's saying a lot of the plays were Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa.
From my guy Chuck.
Yeah, Iowa heavy left.
Yeah.
Iowa heavy left 2.
Yep.
All right, and then the one guy, same play, Iowa heavy left 2. Okay. If you go and you do your research, and you hear Iowa heavy left 2 called, you're going to
can't hear what you're saying.
But you're going to hear the quarterback saying it to the.
No. The quarterback and the special teams guys are all mic'd in. So the receivers and the running back is also. All the quarterback has to do is he's got to give certain plays, certain calls out to the linemen where they need to go.
Do it in the huddle? Do they say everything in the huddle?
They only have 25 seconds. It's sped up.
So
I can't say when they're calling out. But there's things out there that people already know. Like the sluggo is a slant and go. So the sluggo, I mean, they're calling out certain things that people already know, but they can't hear what you're doing. And the referee, the coaches are still covering their mouths because they don't, when they call them. But I like the transparency there. That was fun. But really, the instant replay when they're talking, the head referee talking to the instant replay guy, is pretty neat. And then the instant replay guy gives it back to him, and he's like, "Do you need more time?" And ref's like, "No, I think I got it." He's like, "Okay, you go make the call then." It was really good to have them talk it through. Whereas you and I, we sit there, it doesn't matter. We're at a tavern or we're sitting in your living room. It doesn't matter.
You can't
yeah,
hear
we're like, no. Well, how can they overturn that? They're talking you through it. Well, here's how this works. There was only one, and this was in the Dragons game, so the Defenders-Dragons game. There was a catch, and then they called it was on the field, it was called a catch and fumble, and then they called it an incomplete pass, and the guy calling it said he's only got 1 foot down. Well, according to XFL rules, all you need is 1 foot in bounds, so wouldn't that be considered a catch, right?
Right.
So that was the one where just a little bit...
so what do they call it?
They call it an incomplete pass. But everything else, everyone really liked it. I've already mentioned I thought Greg Olson did a great job, and I believe the other guy's name is Kevin Burkhardt that did it. They did, and that was the early game on Sunday. And McAfee just makes it all better. And that was in the second game.
Dude, yeah. Well, that's a little what the NFL does miss. I would say the other rule that you touched on it, 1 foot inbounds, that come into play on any touchdown passes at all.
It was really close, and the guy was out of bounds, and they made the right call in the field.
Okay.
It was really close. He had a foot, and then actually when he leaped for the ball, he took his foot, and then when he landed out of bounds. So, but it was real close. And then the point after touchdown, where you can go for 1 from the 2, 3 from the 5, and then 2 from the 5, 3 from the 10, right? That's right, yeah. Nobody went for 3.
Only 1s and 2s?
Yeah, the only time that happens is if you're in...
How often were they converting the 1?
I would say, you know what, that's a great stat to look up. I would say probably at a little bit over 50% clip.
Okay.
I would say. At first, it was the first game, like the defenders didn't score, like the first 3 didn't, and you're just sitting as someone who was on the under. ESPN, the first game had a real good job of talking about gambling. Like they mentioned, they were talking about that field goal. They go, that field goal's off, and that under is still on the table now. And then as they're inching closer to the end zone, and then the fumble comes, and they mention it again. The under's back. They said this, and that rarely do you have that happen for our other ones. All right. Week 2, quarterback power rankings. These are just the starters right now. These are guys that have taken the majority of snaps, all right?
Okay.
So we could bring more people later, but majority of snaps.
Well, start at 1 for me.
Number 1?
Yeah, just start at number 1.
I'm going to tell you something.
I know who it is.
Who is it?
It's that dude you were just talking about.
PJ Walker?
Yeah.
No. It's the throwing Samoan.
What's his real name?
Jordan Teamu. 209 yards passing, 77 yards on the ground. That's exactly what this league needs. When I tell you that the receivers are not all of them are that great, there's a lot of drop passes. That's what's going to carry the Battlehawks is this quarterback right here. Their defense and him being able to move it. No one. The next closest, P.J. Walker only had 26 yards on the ground.
Okay. So dual threat quarterbacks are going to carry it.
That's why I think Quentin Flowers, when he comes back for the Vipers, might be able to do something.
Well, who do you got at 2 then?
Number 2 is P.J. Walker of the Houston Roughnecks. Like I said, 272 yards in the air, 26 on the ground. Put him at 298, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So, my power rankings. Now, people may say, well, that's almost 300. Yeah, guess what? So was the throwing Samoan. And he, tried much less amount of passes. So, number 3, Cardell Jones, DC Defenders. Didn't have to do too much. 16 to 26, 235 yards, but didn't turn the ball over. DC's solid. That was number 3. At number 4, Matt McGloin of New York Guardians. Numbers similar to Cardell's, 15 to 29, 182 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Number 5, Charles Canoff of the LA Wildcats. Soon it will be Josh Johnson, but for now, he was 21 of 40, 214 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Number 5, Philip Nelson, the Instagram model. 33 of 42, 209 yards, interception, no touchdowns. He will be replaced more than likely next week by Landry Jones. Did I say 5 for Philip Nelson? He was 6.
Yeah, you said 6.
Okay. Number 7, Brandon Silvers of the Seattle Dragons, 21 of 40, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then finally, Aaron Murray at number 8, 16 of 34, 231 yards, 2 interceptions.
Ron?
Yeah, Ron. That's it. I watched the games.
Who stood at running back for you in this league?
I tried to look at the.
How was Lance Dunbar? I didn't get to see a whole lot of that.
All right, so some of that stuff is
Former Cowboy.
Let's see. Let me just try to go through some of the. Let's see who the leading rusher was for the year for the week. Let's see. For the Vipers, their running back Smith had 79 yards. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry. That looks to me like the rushing leader of the week. Oh, I'm sorry. Matt Jones of the Battlehawks had 85 yards on the ground. Their other running back, Ford, had 26. The crazy thing about that is it was reported ahead of time that Jones was going to be the backup to Christine Michael, who had 7 attempts for 0 yards. Dunbar had 27 yards. So 85 yards is the most. Then you have in the 70s, and then you have the thrown Samoan, who also is in the 70s rushing for them. But everyone else is roughly around anywhere between 25 and 45 yards. So no, the running didn't really stick out too much. Receiving, nobody too much here. I liked for the Dragons, Ricky Prohl's son, Austin Prohl.
Yeah.
He had a good game.
He had a touchdown, I saw.
Yeah, he had 2, but he scored the first one in XFL history.
Ooh.
That's right. He had 88 yards receiving.
There's a trivia question for you.
Eli Rogers of
what's his name?
Defenders.
Tristan Prohl?
Austin
Prohl?
Yeah.
See if Dennis Akarn can get that one right.
He might. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Nathan Spruce had 103 receiving yards, no touchdowns though, for the LA Wildcats. By the way, I had him on one of my daily fantasy for DraftKings. And you can also, I haven't even had an update. I don't even know where I'm at for my friends list for DraftKings.
You could be way over 24 now?
I feel like I have 26.
26?
Yeah, I feel like it. Anyway.
I'll bet you're up to 27.
I think, again, is this, like Erickson said, this is a model that's built to stay. Remember when we had Chuck Long on?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, basically what he said, and I kind of like shrugged at it, he said that this is built to not make money until like year 3. And I was like, ooh, That's not a business model. I mean, I get kind of they're building up to it, but
Well, it isn't it. I see what he's saying though.
Okay.
They're prepared to lose the money that it takes so that they can make money. So they have enough invested to swallow the losses to get the popularity built. Because you have to build the popularity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's going to go.
the winning team splits $100,000.
What, each week?
Yeah. Just under $2,000. 52-man roster.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's interesting if you think about it.
Well, depending on 17,000, I remember whatever they charged those people to get in. It had to be at least $10, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's 170 grand. Makes sense.
Yeah. As much as friend of the show Brandon said, he goes, "Do you think there'll be an expansion?" So that's an interesting question.
I think so.
I think I said I would do it
though, until year 4, though.
Really? You don't think they'll jump on right away? Here's
my thoughts. Let's see how popular it finishes year 1.
Very, very good.
I mean, it's going to take an incredible amount of popularity out of year 1 for it to expand by year 2.
Okay.
Because they'd already have to have all of the expansion places already in place right now and be ready to go. I think they're waiting to see how popular it gets. They'll make the decision sometime mid-year 2, and then they'll bring it year 4. Because then they know, one, they can start showing new owners what the profit's going to look like for them off of year 3. Like, hey, year 3, this is what our profit's going to look like. Bam. You're going to lose money. Even the expansion teams are going to lose money to start out with, but then they show them the model. Is what I'm thinking.
Does it hurt the product if the NFL does adopt some of these rules?
No, it helps the product.
Okay, I'm just trying to say,
because then it makes for more crossover stuff for players as well. You know what I'm saying? It helps these guys that are going to transition to the NFL, or guys from the NFL that are going to be like, okay, I want to. I'm gonna. Let's say you're injured all year or whatever else. I'm gonna go play in the XFL. Get my reps in.
Mhm.
Maybe you didn't make a roster, or maybe something because you're injured. A guy like. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a name that would have worked. I mean, Jalen Smith for the Cowboys sat out an entire year because of his knee. I mean, he couldn't have played, but something along those lines where you were
You're
hurt.
right there.
You were right there.
You're
but
up
you
and
were
down on the
hurt.
practice squad.
But maybe you weren't as highly touted as Jalen Smith. But either way, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I don't know. It's. I thought the AAF was going to be good, considering that the NFL had really endorsed it. But like you said, they didn't. They didn't take their time, I guess, to really know. I mean, the one thing about the XFL is they know what they did wrong the first time.
Yeah, it's not the same at all. I mean,
Right.
I've listened to Oliver Luck. I mean, what Vince McMahon did, this was 19 years ago. What Vince McMahon did is he was like in your face, like, "Welcome to the XFL," and now Oliver Luck is the guy. He brought him in and said, "You're the smart one. You know what's going on." I mean, his his
it's not
resume
that McMahon's
alone.
not smart. It's
No,
just
no,
that
no.
it takes a different. It's not wrestling.
Yeah, what Oliver Luck is, we want your business side of it.
Yeah.
So
what's
McMahon
coming? What's coming is when his son can play in this league.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'm going to tell you. All right, I may be off on this 4-year expansion. Maybe they're ready to do it after year 2. They're not going to do it next year. It'll be after year 2. It'll be year 3. Year 3 will be the soonest. As in, come year 3, the beginning of year 3, you'll have an expansion, and it'll be either 2 or 4 teams. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And maybe they announce it. They have a 2-team expansion year 3, 2 more come year 4. But what are going to be the cities?
That's okay.
That's where it gets tricky.
Majority of these places, are places that can hold a WrestleMania or one of the big 4, your Survivor Series. And I know I'm bringing in wrestling when we said Vince McMahon's out of it, but I do think that's key for a lot of them. All right. CenturyLink Field, obviously in Seattle, can. New York, MetLife, that had a WrestleMania. Okay. There's only one dome team.
And that's Seattle.
No,
Or
right
St.
now,
Louis.
St. Louis. There's only one. So my first train of thought, but I don't know if that's too many dome teams in the East Division, but I think Atlanta and Minneapolis. My original was Chicago, but I don't see Chicago hosting.
I was with you with Minneapolis. I see what you're saying about Atlanta. I mean, let's just go through the next.
In the West, Phoenix.
You think? All right. Yeah, that's possible. I was going a little bit further west. San Diego.
All right. We talked to the guys after the Holiday Bowl. Are they building something on that trash that of that field? Or no, they're going to build a field for San Diego State, remember?
Yeah.
So I thought about San Diego too, but what about Denver?
It's possible. I'll put San Diego and Denver.
But I do like Phoenix.
Anywhere else Midwest or Eastern that you can think of? I mean, Indianapolis, I think, still too small of a market. Cincinnati, Cleveland.
I thought about somewhere in Ohio, Pittsburgh, or Philadelphia,
Philly.
I think Atlanta,
Boston, Miami.
But they want to go more with warm weather. They've already. I mean,
Miami.
just DC,
I think Miami.
Just DC and New York are the only ones that will probably have.
And they have mild winters compared to what we have here.
Yeah. So Miami's not bad.
And
You've already got two in
and
Texas.
you know,
so
Colorado winters are, you get heavy snow, but it's warm. You know, it's a weird type of.
those are all solid options, though.
I think Miami's an option.
But
yeah. Des Moines.
Des Moines, yeah. Remember when we were.
There's a new superhero show out, by the way. Well, it's not new, but it's called The Boys on Amazon.
Yeah, didn't that come out a while ago?
It came out a while ago.
Yeah.
I started watching it yesterday.
Yeah.
I got done binging The Man in the High Castle final season. Awesome show.
But the boys they're not really good
there's
people.
There's a superhero from Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
And she's a good person.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Brabner pointed out Kansas City. I think that's. I thought about that too.
Kansas City has but I just think it's too close to St. Louis right now.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying, bros. Yeah.
And Erickson's pointing out maybe they needed to spice it up a little bit. Maybe you do need a Johnny Manziel in there.
Well,
There's no way Kaepernick's going to do it. No way he's not going to do it. Tebow's that mentioned.
Listen, if Kaepernick wants to play football again, he's going to come play in the XFL because he's not getting signed in the NFL.
The thing that's going to be interesting is your next Lawrence, your next true freshman who does something like that, and then the XFL comes calling and says, why do you have to wait? Why do you have to wait till you're after?
It's going to take the Herschel Walker.
Your junior, yeah.
It's going to take that Herschel Walker guy that made the USFL automatically viable. And that's what it's going to do.
Certified check for $1 million. They said, that is yours.
Yeah.
I said, what am I going to do with it?
It's either going to take Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. Listen, here's going to be the other one. Only issue in what you said right now is it's these receivers have to start catching passes.
Yes.
100%. These quarterbacks are going to be like, listen, man, no one remembers how many drop passes that when I'm trying to make a roster or whatever else. These guys got to start catching passes.
Yes.
And you got to find some guys with some good hands. At least decent hands. I mean, there's got to be some undersized receivers that are still decent out there that just didn't quite make an NFL roster that could catch a ball. I mean, Cole Beasley's of the world. Where are you at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. A guy that's just borderline-ish. And maybe, because I just don't think there's not going to be too many 6'2", 6'4" dudes with great hands, that aren't in the NFL.
That's right.
That just.
And by the way, that's what you're describing is what I was looking for when I was picking wide receivers for my DraftKings daily fantasy.
6'4".
I know I was looking for guys that were in the slot.
Yeah.
That basically had hands that could catch a ball, a slant route that's really only going to go for 6-7 yards at a time. I didn't ever think that there was going to be any home run balls. So
they're gonna find the speedy guy. I mean, here's the deal. The speed's going to be just a touch bit slower, but it's still going to be there. You're going to find the guy. It's coming. It really is coming. It's just week 1. And you had some good points thrown up, Jay. I mean, the first, day 1, 37-31, you're fine with that. Day 2, garbage.
Yeah, that's the only thing takeaway. But like I said, if you can find the highlights and you find, like I said, Olsen, and I'll beat this down. I'm
saying if you took a 4-game sample of the NFL at any given Sunday and just threw it out there, I guarantee you can find these exact results in the NFL, and the exact type of playing too. Whereas you're like, oh, that was garbage football. Well, yeah, is it? It's a tough sport. There's things that are tough about it.
They let's see, there was 2-2 against the favorites in the spread, 3-1 on the over/under. Home teams were 3-1 straight up. So it's a small sample size, but it's something to look at. You got to take advantage of every way you can before Vegas catches up to you.
No, I think it's going to be great. I think
I'm interested on the first half unders and the second half overs because of the 25-second play clock. The defense is getting tired.
Yeah,
and these are little things that might go through my head and everything. Right. But let's make that turn to the NFL. We've got some things to look at.
We do. We do want to take a break first?
Yeah, let's take a break and we'll come back.
Coming back, we've got some NFL talk.
We've got the over-unders, right?
We got some interesting over-unders to talk about.
From Pro
Football Focus.
All right. Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, Quad Cities. Need to stop going to your social media sites, asking everybody where you're getting your oil change, who does the best tattoo work, or where you're going to get your hip cut on. Right, Sergi? That's right. Pick up your Locals Lovers guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of content to help you find what you're looking for. Or you can go to the website, localslovers.com, click on Quad Cities, and browse your favorites. It's easy to use, and they rank the most popular places for you. Don't forget to check them out. Those are our friends from Locals Love Us. They are your guide to the best.
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
When storm damage hits, All Major Restorations is your insurance claim specialist. Loose or missing shingles, dented siding, or damaged windows. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities works with your insurance company, making the process quick and easy. The insurance company has people fighting for them. Let All Major Restorations work for you. Residential, commercial, and industrial. There's a reason they have an A+ accredited Better Business Bureau rating. Storm damage estimates are always free. Visit amrestorations.com. All Major Restorations of the Quad Cities.
The Will Kane Show.
There's one town where the marriage is perfect for the Chargers. They should move to St. Louis. What do you think the analogy is? Would this be like somebody's husband leaving them for another man? Some gold chain dude in Los Angeles, right? In order to get him back, St. Louis starts dating that dude's sister. How does that work? No, wait, I got my genders mixed up. Okay, let me do this right. St. Louis is a woman. Her husband left for another lady, and that LA Rockets brother is available, and St. Louis picks him up. The Rams and the Chargers.
Which one is the man?
Hold on, I'm sorting this out.
But the Rams are actually going back with their ex.
All right, let me start this over again.
Then they went back to their ex. They got remarried.
New and improved ex.
I can't do it.
Nailing the analogy.
The Will Kane Show, 2 till 5 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
It's Valentine's Day Central at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry. We have selected 3 amazing Valentine's deals starting at $99. And with each purchase, you receive Lago Marcino chocolates.
Check out all the ways we can make your Valentine's Day full of sparkle and romance without busting your budget.
Come in and see how easy it can be at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry, home of the Wow Factor, 2115 East 12th Street in the village of East Davenport.
Happy Valentine's Day!
In walks this 24-year-old brown-haired lady nurse, and she goes, I'm going to be the one removing your catheter. Oh, God! Then she goes, I have to tell you this. She goes, I've never actually done this before. What? Well, go practice on a dead guy.
Don't miss Billingval, live for 2 shows Friday, March 6th. Rhythm City Casino Resort. Tickets on sale now at rhythmcitycasino.com, by phone, and in person at the Market Gift Shop.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Town Square Media and the Better Business Bureau are sponsoring the Quad Cities Business Expo at Jumer's Casino Rock Island on February 12th from 11 to 8 p.m. See what top businesses and speakers in the Quad Cities have to help your business succeed, improve efficiencies, make your business and home life better. Admission is free and open to the public. Pre-register online for a chance to win a free limited trip from Landjet Mobile Offices, free LED lighting from Yellow Blue LED, and many more prizes. Register today at qcbusinessexpo.com. That's qcbusinessexpo.com.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KPOB, Davenport.
Hey, we're coming back. We're going to remind everybody, for nearly 12 years, Pints has been providing the Quad Cities with some of the best beer, drinks, and good times around. Join them Monday through Friday for a happy hour, 3 to 6. And you have some of that complimentary Vans Pizza at 5 o'clock every day. Stop in any day of the week for one of their daily specials. That's Pints, 5268 Utica Ridge Road in Davenport. And we're back listening to Don't Hassle Us a Local on AM 1170.
117 on Monday, February 10th. I want to thank you all for listening. You can also remind you to download the app, ESPN 1170 AM. Go to your Google Play Store, your App Store to do that. You can listen on ESPN1170am.com. Click the upper right-hand corner. On both of those, you can get our blogs, things we're writing about. Last week, I did my third installment of the high school rankings. Sectionals were this week for Class 1A and 2A for wrestling. The top 2 from that go on to districts.
How'd that go?
Good. Assumption.
For local around here.
Assumption did well. They put, I think 12 into districts. So they'll be, I don't really know where their district is at. The top 2 from the districts go on to state. Those will be things that we'll cover as well when we get all the state participants. I got to write about the XFL experience that we talked about. But you've got a list for me. NFL.
Yeah.
What was it? Pro
Football Focus came out
PFF.
today with interesting over-unders that are already been established for next season.
Without looking at the schedule.
Yeah, without looking at an exact schedule, right?
Okay.
Because the schedule isn't out. You know who they're playing, but you don't know where.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how it's...
I don't even think they've done that yet.
Maybe they haven't done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait for that schedule.
So these teams, this was all done by Pro Football Focus. So we'll go through them from top to bottom as they had them listed in the article, Jay.
Okay.
So that way everybody doesn't think I'm doing this.
All right, so they have the teams with the most wins.
No, they just did it. They
didn't put everybody.
They didn't put everybody.
Yeah.
They did random or interesting over-unders.
Random or interesting over-unders. Okay.
So the first one they had listed, the Dallas Cowboys at 9 wins.
Okay.
And what did Pro Football Focus say, Jay?
9 wins. They were Dallas Cowboys were 8-8 last year. And what did Pro Football Focus say about the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah. Just guess. Do they pick over or under 9 wins?
Over.
That's right.
Hammer the over.
Hammer the over.
There's at least 2 or 3 games that they should have won that. They should have been 10-6, right?
Right.
So 9 is hammer the over in that. But
Yep. Dallas is something that came up too when we were talking. Dallas is $90 million under the cap right now.
Okay.
85 or 90 million under the cap. They got money to spend. Obviously, they still need to sign Amari Cooper. It looks like that's going to get done. A lot of stuff going on in Dallas. Dak Prescott.
Sean Lee has said he's going to play in 2020.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott, number 2 in Pro Football Focus, wins above replacement.
Okay.
Just saying.
No, I again.
Just going off stuff that they said in the article.
But they're going to have to sign him.
Or franchise. Or franchise.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of work left to do in Dallas.
I don't care if he says he won't be happy or not. Franchise him.
Okay. All right. And the next team.
It's part of the
Houston Texans, Jay. 8.5 wins. What do you think Pro Football Focus guessed?
The Houston Texans, 8.5 wins. Okay. 8.5 wins. 10-6 last year. Under.
They did guess them under.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over. What about you?
No, I'm telling you where I'm going. So I guess I'm guessing wherever I say under. There's going to be some regression.
What do you think?
There's 2 games. Well, they went 10-6 last year. Their point differential was -7. So they forced 378 points, allowed 385.
I think the defense gets better.
5-3 at home, 5-3 away. Yeah, go the opposite way, 3-5 away. They got lucky sometimes. It depends on their schedule though as well. I like under. 8-8 seems about right.
All right.
Tennessee's getting better. Let's see what the Colts do.
Tennessee's getting better, but I'm not worried about the Colts right now. And I'm certainly not worried about Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's true. But I got
thoughts.
8-8. Yep.
All right. The new Las Vegas Raiders.
They're gonna
under 7.
They're gonna hammer the over.
They went under.
Did they really?
They went under.
So there's a thought there that they think they're going to cut Carr and save $19 million on the cap, and they don't have a strong leader.
I don't know. I think they still have a lot of. Aren't they sitting on a lot of picks this year too?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over the 7. I'm going to go over the 7 on the Raiders. You're just putting too many.
They were 7-9 last year.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
at.
I'm going over.
Yeah, I have to go over on this. They're just going to add to this, whether they keep Carr or not.
5-3 at home, 2-6 away. Are they trying
5-3 at home, and one of those games was in Europe.
Yes, but now are they going to try to say like Las Vegas? I mean, it's going to be crazy there, Las Vegas.
So people are going to go nuts there. They're going to get welcomed, for sure. This isn't going to be like San Diego moving to LA.
Yeah, I think the over there is good.
That's another, by the way, for the XFL.
Now you don't know who the
XFL is going to land in Vegas again.
That's you know what, Kyle wrote that on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. He wrote Las Vegas as well. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be for the Chargers.
Raiders, you mean?
No, Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, gotcha.
Because Rivers is gone.
They
just announced they announced the inevitable. So so his 16-year run is done. So there's 2 games there that you kind of think. Split with Denver, 1-1. Who knows? Kansas City looks like they're going to make a run here.
Well,
so
by the way,
that's 3 wins right there.
Denver and San Diego are 2 spots where Brady's rumored to be landing. One, they have cap room in San Diego, and his ties to Peyton.
It ties to Peyton in Denver, you mean?
Yeah.
Because it kind
of. Him and Peyton are buddies.
Did you see? Yeah.
Him and Peyton driving around.
No,
trying to guess the
someone
code.
on Twitter
Jim Nance's code. They go, "Wish Romo was here."
Peyton was doing some pro-am.
He could tell us what it was.
Peyton was doing some pro-am, and he chipped a ball, and it didn't go in. And someone wrote on Twitter like Brady would have put it in the cup, and Brady wrote, "No, Peyton's a better golfer because he's had more practice lately than I have."
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right, next team up. Your Super Bowl losers. San Francisco 49ers. They got him at 10.5 wins, Jay. Over under. What did Pro Football Focus say?
Yeah, history for the loser says it's not good.
History says it's not good. Correct.
10.5?
10.5.
13-3 last year. A plus 169 point differential. Is the highest in the league. No, I'm sorry. No, the Baltimore Ravens were the highest in the league. They're the third highest in the league. 10.5 though. Do I see them losing 3 more games off of that schedule? 13-3 is a lot. 12-4. 12-4. The Pro Football Focus says over.
They said under.
I say under 2, but I thought maybe they would be sweet on him.
I'm going over, Jay. This team is not going to win less than 11 games because this team is built solidly on defense.
Yeah, that history thing is what
I like the tenacity of Kittle. I like where the running game is. I like their O-line. Jimmy G's going to take some hits on this, but this is a team, I think, Jay, that can break the Super Bowl curse.
6-2 at home, 7-1 away. I don't know if they're going to replicate that.
All right, even if they're 5-3 away, that's still 11-5.
11-5. Okay.
And they lost the game at home to Atlanta Falcons that you can't explain.
Fair. That's a good argument.
I'll take the San Fran and the over. I think San Fran still wins that division. I still think Arizona's weak.
Yeah, Arizona's a ways back.
The Rams skid is going to continue.
Well,
don't know what's going to happen with.
They put money in the wrong spots.
Right.
They're gonna have to dismantle for salary cap reasons.
Right. I mean, yeah.
They gave bad contracts.
Aaron Donald's great, but what's going to happen? You know, he had that cornerback that they picked up from.
Yeah, but I mean, Gurley's contract and Goff's contract themselves are a liability. Something's going to happen there, so that's going to cost them.
Like Gurley's gone.
Seattle Seahawks. I mean, how many times are they going to go to a well to try to find another running back who hasn't been in the league in 18 months?
But they have running backs that all of them got injured. They're all coming off injury next year. Every one of them.
Carson he's a liability to hold the ball. He fumbles too much, and then the other guy, their running back they drafted a couple years ago, he's been beat up.
Rashad Penny.
Yeah, he hasn't panned out.
Yeah, not quite. No. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's going to happen there. So I think San Fran wins that division next year. Next one, another playoff team, Jay, with a nice young quarterback. The Buffalo Bills.
Okay, what's their over/under?
8.5.
8.5. 10-6 last year. Soft schedule. We don't know what's going on with New England.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets,
improved
7-9. Miami.
Miami's going to be improved no matter what. Getting all kinds of number 1 draft picks coming, baby. Good head coach, too. Very good head coach. Possible landing spot for Brady, by the way, as well.
No, I like under for the Bills.
You like under, so did they.
And the reason being that they were 6-2 on the road, meaning they were 4-4 at home. I mean, that's you can flip that in a heartbeat and put maybe that 10-6 to 8-8. They were only plus 55 in the scoring differential.
I like the under too because they did. No matter what, one of these days Frank Gore's going to have to stop playing football.
Oh yeah.
He's going to have to stop playing football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll go under. I think they're still going to be decent. I think they end up 8-8, more than likely.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get to that 9th win. Like you said, 6-2 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him replicating that. All righty. Speaking of Peyton's place, the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
8 wins, Jay. Can Drew Lock lead a talented squad with Cortland Sutton, Phillip Lindsay,
they were 7-9.
Noah Fant.
7-9 last year. You keep throwing these names out. They were 7-9 last year, 2-6 on the road, 5-3 at home.
Mm-hmm.
Gave up more points than they forced. And what's the number, 8?
8.
Give me the over.
They went under. I'm with you, Bird. I say over. I like what the Broncos are doing. Whether it's Drew Lock or Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady, this team's going to make improvements. All right. Where's Randazzo been, by the way? Does he not care about this show anymore?
He's busy on Mondays.
Busy on what? Doing what? Does he work for WQAD or is he our friend?
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on, Dazzo.
He's busy. I haven't bothered him about anything like that.
Well, I'm going to bother him right now. Dazzo, I hope you're listening. Because Pro Football Focus wants to know your Detroit Lions, 6.5 wins.
Yeah.
And what does Pro Football Focus say, Jay-Bird?
Okay, Detroit. I'm looking up because
Detroit. Remember, Detroit started out with 4 wins last year.
Payson on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread said the opponents are out, but the schedule's not. So I was just kind of going to take a peek at that. But all right, Detroit is at what?
6.5.
3-12 last year.
Oh, they weren't at 4 wins. They
No.
could have been at 4 wins.
1-6-1
Yeah.
away, 2-6 at home. Oh, and it's 6.5.
Yeah.
Man. No, under.
They said over. And I'm with you, Bird.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry.
Maybe 6 and 9.
They just had a rehaul on this entire coaching staff, too. Other than the head coach.
Yeah.
The head coach went in and fired him.
Yeah, that's they went in and said like we're getting rid of all your assistants, but we're keeping you around because we have to.
Yeah. Not good look. Not a good look. Yeah, sorry, Dazzo. Lions are going to be bad for another year. Okay. Where's Erickson when you need him? The Green Bay Packers. Guess what the over-under is, Jay?
The Green Bay Packers over-under is 10.5.
9.5.
13-3 last year. 7-1 at home, 6-2 away. Point differential of plus 63. So they weren't blowing anybody out.
Guess what Pro Football Focus said?
The way in your voice it says that they said the Green Bay Packers under.
They did.
They did. They said under
9.5?
9 and 7. I think that's what I had them last year. They went 13-3 though.
9?
No, I'm sorry. I had the Bears 9-7. I had them 10-6 and the Vikings 10-6. The Vikings win the division. That's what I predicted it at, but that's obviously not the case. 9.5. So 9-7 is what they're maybe thinking at. Well, let me see if I can pull up the schedule. Payson's is
all right.
referring to.
They're going to play a more successful schedule, obviously, because that's how the schedule works. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to put them at the over. I think they're going to get 10 wins, at least.
So, just real quick, this is from milehighreport.com, but they did a strength of schedule. I don't know. Someone's got to one website. They've got as far as strength of schedule, they've got it listed as the Patriots. Basically, they did the strength of scheduling by how the teams finished the previous season, right? Winning percentage. So the Patriots at number 1. Their opponents have 537 winning percentage. Then it goes Jets, Dolphins, 49ers, Bills, Lions, Falcons, Cardinals. It doesn't matter. I mean, Packers are only at 15. They're playing a bunch of teams that are coming into the next season at 500. They're 504 actually. Kansas City Chiefs are exactly at 500. So are the Carolina Panthers. But we're looking at strength of schedule. Go on. What do we have next?
So did you take the Packers over or under?
Over under 9.5?
Yeah.
No, they squeak one out 8-8. They squeak one out on the road, 2 out on the road. I'm just saying that looking at now I'm getting diluted with the strength schedule. 9 sounds about right. I don't.
Right.
I mean,
So you're saying under?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying under.
All right. Speaking of
I don't
deja
like any of
vu,
their weapons.
Bird,
I don't like any of their
Speaking
weapons.
of deja vu,
Yeah.
last year you picked the Vikings and the Packers have the same exact record, right?
Yes.
Their over under this year is the same exact 9.5.
Huh. Well, Over for the Vikings.
They have under.
They have they have the
Pro Football Focus has them under 9.5 wins.
And they also had the Packers at under.
Mm-hmm.
So 9-7 because they did Pro Football have the Bears at all?
No, the Bears aren't on there. They weren't on there for me to look at. On the article I looked at.
I mean, they can't really in there.
They can't.
Right
The Bears are going to take that division over.
No.
I'm
just pulling up Twitter. Like Payson said, he sent the.
You had good running game. You think that Hooked on a Thielen's going to come back a little bit healthier, hopefully. You did get some good work out of Stephon Diggs. You finally got his head straight. You got another good tight end in there with my boy Kyle Rudolph. I think this team can improve. They're going to be right there with the Packers once again. I'm going to give them the over. I'm sorry. But until something changes in Chicago, I can't put any faith in Biscuit right now. Can you?
No, not yet.
I don't even know if it's really Biscuit's fault. Maybe it's the head coach. But
I don't know, I'm trying to pull up some of the strength of schedule here. But
all right, last team on this list, Jay.
Yes.
The Washington R-Words.
Okay. They are set at, let's see, new coaching staff.
Yep.
Ron Rivera. They were 3-13 last year. Pro Football Focus has them at 5.5.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And did they say over or under 5.5?
They said over 5.5.
Wow, look at you. Do you think they're going to be over?
I think they're going to be over. They were 3-13 last year. At home, they were 1-7. They have to improve on that at least. That has to move them to 6
at home.
That has to move them to 6-10. They have to go 4-4 at home.
Listen,
they were 2-6 away.
Scary Terry's a good receiver. Let's see what can happen with this quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne Haskins has got to get better. We hope. We'll see what happens. I am going to optimistically say over.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the Redskins. Those were the ones that were listed.
Those are the ones that were listed. No, we'll
yeah, but they didn't have everybody as if we get more, if we see more out of Pro Football Focus, obviously everyone will talk about it. Those are just the teams that were there. A good sample size though, right? I mean, you had 2 out of the NFC East. You had 2 AFC Wests. Mm-hmm. You had AFC East. You had the three out of the North. NFC North. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's relevant for us.
Absolutely. Let's take a break. Come back. I've got to tell you a story.
I can't wait. I love story time.
I tell you the story. We got to see how I did. I gave you some locks for the Oscars as we were going out the air on Friday. See how I did there for betting purposes.
I wore my Oscar shirt today too.
You did. Oh yeah. Did you guys have a party out there?
Nah, I didn't.
No one did that go away? We'll talk about it when we come back.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in Iowa, nestled right along the bank of the mighty Mississippi River, and it's been serving Davenport since 1992 with so many awesome beers like the Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and the oh-so-popular Cherry Belle
Baseball
Blanc.
news, too. Sorry.
Oh, I love baseball news.
Mm-hmm.
Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials or visit the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. Calling all bars and restaurants to get a hold of your local distributor and put some Front Street on your tap lines or in your coolers today. That's Front Street Brewery. The restaurant is located at 208 East River Drive, where the tap room is in the Freight House Complex.
This is Julian Vandervelde, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
ESPN 1170 AM.
You don't want to miss the Outdoor Show, February 13th through the 16th at the QCCA Expo Center in Rock Island. Troy Lindner, son of legendary angler Al Lindner and team member of Lindner's Angling Edge, will entertain you with his fishing and life stories during daily seminars, along with fellow anglers Tommy Scarless and Jim Crowley. Get fishing tips from some of the best. Huge vendor displays featuring fishing, boating, bait, and tackle tackle. It's all waiting for you at the outdoor show. Bring your kids for their own adventure at Kids Camp, Trout Pond, minnow races, and archery. Advanced discount tickets are available in person at K&K Hardware, Kroger's, the Expo Center office, or at QCCAExpoCenter.com. At the door, adults $8, kids 6 to 16 just $1, and under 6 free. Senior citizens and military get in for $6 all day Friday. There's free parking and shuttle from the Rock Island ramp to the outdoor show, February 13th through the 16th. For schedule of events, more information, or to get tickets, log on to QCCAExpoCenter.com.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably?
It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When the soil around your foundation shifts, it can cause serious problems for your home, including bowing, leaning, or cracked basement walls. Helitech's patented wall anchoring system will provide a permanent solution for bowing basement walls and will get the job done right the first time. For basement wall repair, trust Helitech, your hometown foundation repair contractor for over 30 years. Soil constantly expands and contracts, putting pressure against your foundation, causing it to bow or crack. Helitech is the area's only contractor that uses AB Chance, an American-made wall anchoring system to provide a permanent solution for bowing or cracked foundation walls. Helitech proudly services Central Illinois, the Quad Cities, Central Missouri, Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri, Western Kentucky, and the greater St. Louis region. When it comes to basement cracks, don't ignore the problem. Trust Helitech to heal your home. Give yourself peace of mind knowing they will find the root of the problem, the solution, and heal it for a lifetime.
Heal your home with Helitech.
Heading out of town? Stay connected to Quad City sports with Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Download the ESPN 1170 app today and never miss a thing. From the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, reminding everybody out there, Done Right TV and Security Solutions is proud to be your Dish Premier local retailer. Use the Dish voice remote to search live TV with over 80,000 on-demand titles and Netflix at the same time. Done Right has all the products you need to turn your home into a smart home. Not only do they have the state-of-the-art products, they even have their own installation experts for TV mounts, wireless networks, home theaters, security systems, and more. Call 866-84-RIGHT today and let that package get started that's right for you. Netflix streaming membership required. Voice remote requires internet-connected hopper. Restrictions apply. Once again, Done Right TV and Security Solutions, 866-84-RIGHT.
And let me tell you about your not so ordinary sandwich shop, the Bayside Bistro in the village of East Davenport. You won't find deli meat on their menu. They use fresh ingredients, and the orders are made from scratch. I enjoyed the Bayside Po' Boy, but I've also had things like the roasted beet and green bean salad. That's an incredible menu that they specialize in deliciousness now down there. Don't forget about their smoothies and the fresh juices that they have. And remember when they were on the air, they talked about the gourmet popcorn that they make all the different flavors.
I wasn't here for that. I wish I was.
But you can also check out all their reviews and recommendations from their over 500 recommendations from former guests that they have. It's at 1105 Christie Street in the East Village of Davenport. And if you're doing any catering, you're hosting private events, get a hold of them. For those out there that are doing plant-based diet menu options or they're into gluten-free, go ahead and check that out as well. They have entrees on the dinner menu. Go ahead and check them out. And go to their Facebook page. They post videos of things that are going on. Their soup of the day. It's fantastic. They finally, T-Roy, I told you that there's baseball news.
Yeah.
They finally got that Mookie Betts trade down. The Twins actually had to pull out because the Red Sox, they didn't like the medical report that was coming out of Brusdar Graterol. So the Red Sox are going to trade right fielder Mookie Betts and starting pitcher David Price to the Dodgers for outfielder Alex Verdugo, shortstop, second baseman Jeter Downs, and catcher Connor Wong. But the Dodgers did go through with their trade for Kenta Maeda. They sent cash considerations also to the Twins for Brusdar Graterol outfielder Luke Raley and the 67th pick in the Major League Draft. The Jock Peterson trade fell through, so he's no longer going to be going to the Angels. He'll be on the Dodgers as well. Padres traded Manuel Margot and outfielder catcher Logan Driscoll to the Tampa Bay Rays for relief pitcher Emilio Pagan. Infielder Max Muncy and the Dodgers agreed to a 3-year, $26 million contract extension. Andrew Benintendi and the Red Sox agreed to a 2-year, $10 million contract. Hunter Pence is still in the league, and he'll be a San Francisco Giant. He has agreed to a 1-year, $3 million contract. Other things out there, center fielder Billy Hamilton agreed to a minor league contract with the Giants. Cody Allen, relief pitcher, also agreed to a minor league contract with the Rangers. Ubaldo Jimenez and the Colorado Rockies agreed to a minor league contract. Kendrys Morales has announced his retirement from Major League Baseball. Yesterday in the NBA, Atlanta Hawks beat the New York Knicks 140-135 in 2 overtimes. The Clippers went on the road and beat the Cavaliers 133-92. Boston Celtics also road winners 112-111 against Oklahoma City Thunder. The Jazz beat the Houston Rockets 114-113. 76ers took care of the Bulls 118-111. Portland Trailblazers were victorious over the Heat 115-109. And the Memphis Grizzlies, again on the road, 106-99 over the Wizards. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if there's 7 games there. Looks like we have 3 teams that won on the road, 3 out of 4. Tonight, we've got NBA action as well. The Charlotte Hornets are going to the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are -3. Pacers host the Nets. Pacers are -6.5. Heat and Golden State will meet. This will be a West Coast game, later game, 9:30, -5. The Heat are -5 on the road. And the Lakers also playing at 9:30 tonight. They will be -12.5 against the Phoenix Suns. Other games, Atlanta Hawks playing back-to-back games. Keep an eye on that. Orlando Magic is the home team. Orlando's -9. Toronto Raptors hosting Minnesota Timberwolves. It's -9.5. Toronto, I believe, has won 14 straight. Utah Jazz on the road at Dallas. It's -1.5. The Bucks play host to the Sacramento Kings. -10.5. And the Denver Nuggets are 7-point favorites against the San Antonio Spurs. What you want to do there is you want to pay attention to games that played yesterday or anyone that traveled in their back-to-back travel games. Do your research, folks. T-Roy, I got to tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
I know you saw a video that I posted of my son. I'm proud of the kid, right?
That's right. I'll tell you what.
So as you are unaware, we talked about it last week. I put it on Facebook. I mean, it's not... Obviously, I'm proud of my kids or whatever else. Rarely do I put things out there like, oh, they went 4 for 4 at the plate or anything like that. Or just not my thing. But I was like hesitant, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the video out there. He had a talent show at school, and the story behind it is really gauges up there about what a spaz I am, okay? And so... Originally, what my son wanted to do, and I said this at the show on last week at the end of the week of the show. There's a television show called The Goldbergs, and in that Barry and Adam, they do a "We Didn't Start the Fire" Billy Joel song, not a parody, but they changed the lyrics. And my son said, "Can we do that for the talent show?" And this was months ago, and I was like, "Yeah, we can do it. You know, no big deal. I'll help you with it." Well, I'll help you with it. I'll do it. We'll do it a little bit here and there. in the end, it's maybe about 90% done. Comes time for tryouts. It's not really all the way done, but we'll go for it. Tuesday is a dress rehearsal. This was Tuesday last week because the show was on Friday night. Well, after the show gets done here on Tuesday, I decide that what I had previously worked on lyrics-wise, I hate. So I just destroy it. And I'm going to start over from square one. So I have to start all the lyrics from square one, which is a nightmare. And I just, for some reason, was hyping myself up. I mean, I'm wearing down the carpet here, like talking myself up, like, you got this. You're smart in this. Just relax, dude. Just relax. Don't let the anxiety get to you. I'm like telling this to myself. Meanwhile, I realize I've got to get my daughter to like Milan for softball practice at some point. Right. So I'm going to have to drive home, get her to Milan, and somehow I'm going to rewrite this song. And I think we're at like, it's 3 minutes long or whatever else. So I'm still working. And finally I get home close to time to, a little bit after 4, she got to be at practice at 5, and I just say to my wife, like, you got to take her to Milan. You've got to take her. I've got to work on these lyrics, which in turn leads to it's not done, and I don't want to hear it's not done because I've already got anxiety. I know it's not done. I know I should have done it months ago. I know it should be done and perfected, and then we're going into dress rehearsal. I know it should be done to the point where if we were to perform it right now, it's got to go. I realize that. So in turn, I don't say, just do me a favor. Everything's calm. I blurt out with, well, what have you done? That doesn't go over well.
Like a turd in a punch bowl.
Yeah. It doesn't go over well. And then I like in between texting as she's driving, like, I'm sorry, 1,000 apologies. I appreciate everything you're doing. So I get the lyrics finally done. The printer, of course, isn't working. We've got to go to dress rehearsal. So I have to put the computer down, and I have to explain to the person, and she did it, Vanessa's her name, she did a fantastic job running it.
But studies show they handle stress in war well.
Is what?
Women handle stress in war well.
I guess, I don't know how I handled it, but I'm like pleading with her. I'm like, just trust me on this, how this is going to work, Vanessa, who runs the whole show. It's going to work, but I don't have the paper, and I don't have a table, and I don't have this and that, but it's going to work. She's like, all right. Whatever. So I run him through the new lyrics. I'm like, you got this? He's like, yeah. I was like, don't worry about it. Just we'll tighten everything up by Friday. Everything's gonna be fine. And I know he does a good job at tryouts. I'm like, all right, it's good. It's good. So now we're getting into Friday performance time. Vanessa's like, do you have a table? I'm like, yeah, I got a table. I got this and that. Don't worry about it. We're good. And I still feel pretty confident. Obviously, the lyrics are gonna be taped on the table. He's not too worried. I have sunglasses for him, and then now we're getting closer to the showtime, and I'm like, all right, I gotta talk to this kid because he's going in front of a lot of people here, and this is his one time really performing it. So I keep going to him like, hey man, you got sunglasses on, it's not a big deal. Just you don't even have to look at anybody. Don't get nervous. Don't make eye contact. He's like, I got this, I got it. And then I go back a second time. He's like, leave me alone. And if you go to my own Facebook, he did a fantastic job. I'm very proud of him. He flipped a table. He threw the sunglasses into the crowd.
Sunglass store was perfect.
Came right at me, which was weird.
I know. That's why I'm waiting to see the karate move.
He did a karate chop at the end.
And your camera went like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jay.
Yeah. So I thought he was going to
But I saw Tiffany's angle.
Yes.
So then I got to see the karate kick.
Yes. He did a karate chop and a kick. And, we're excited for it. But then you would think that he's excited to go to school on Monday because it was right before intermission, so he got to see a lot of people, and people were like, good job.
What Anger was texting you.
Yes.
Those reasons.
Thanks to Pat for the text and everything.
That was a very, very poignant text.
Yes.
Very truthful.
He was the last act before intermission, so I was like, all right. So it was cool. A lot of people like, good job. And
the parents were all getting into it, man. You could hear the crowd. Yeah.
And so then you would think school, there might be like kids would be like, hey, good job. But we obviously played it a lot and told him what a good job. We're proud of him. Again, back to everything I said. When it's all said and done, I still get down to eye contact with my son and I say, are you proud of yourself? And he says yes. And I said, that is the most important thing. Don't ever look for anyone else right. Do it. It's as long as you're proud of yourself. So, but he's just sick of it. And then he's in a grumpy mood because it's Monday. And I'm like, aren't you excited to go to school? I mean, the kids are going to talk about your performance that you did. Nope, I'm over it. Nope. You guys played it too much over the weekend. You guys wouldn't shut up about it. Like, man, can't even just like, you can't even like relish about it. Yeah, a couple weeks over.
No, done being a star.
I'm proud of him. He did a good job, of course.
And now you're talking about it on the radio, Dad.
Yeah.
Way to go, dude.
Yeah, and of course he's like, he's like, okay, but when he's not being difficult, he does say, so what are we doing next year? I'm like, man, I stressed out over this too much.
You just wait to see what Susie Thompson tells you you're gonna do. I don't know. Some girl's gonna hit on him.
Oh, okay.
Because he did so good. Making up names, Jay.
Yeah, just making up names.
Yeah.
No, it was good for him. And all right, the Oscars were last night.
Oh, Christ.
I told you guys that I was going to end. I didn't have anything.
I watched less than 3 minutes of the Oscars.
I would have blown it. The very last with the winning picture, I would have blown it if there was if there was a chance for me to go and put money on this.
Well, you only got 3 wrong.
I was
what you predicted.
Yeah.
On Friday.
Yes. So what I was going to do, if I could have gone to Elite Sportsbook and got it in, I was going to put a parlay on Best Supporting Actress Laura Dern, Best Supporting Actor Brad Pitt, Best Actress Renee Zellweger, Best Actor Joaquin Phoenix, Best Picture 1917. That was going to be the 5 parlay.
5-team parlay.
Yes, but they didn't have that, so I'm like, no big deal, and I'm not going to push it, and I'm not going to drive down to. And you know what they always say when Jake's in here, he'll sit there and say you can always ask, they can make a phone call. But I was like, I'm not driving up there to put on a dumb $10 bet on this. I would have taken it up to the very end, and lost
to a parasite.
To a one-time only, never happened before. Foreign film won Best Picture of the Year. A film that will never
be watched in America.
No. I mean, it's just good for them. I mean, Roma was subtitled, but that was Netflix, right? And then I never watched that. I'm not going to watch subtitles. No. I haven't seen Joker yet.
It's overrated.
That speech, I don't care. That was what? That speech by his. First off,
I didn't watch any of it. I don't care what any of them have to say, Jay. They live in another world.
How can Ricky Gervais give that speech and say, get up here, thank your God, and F off? And he nails it. And then they continue to just...
Because they live in their own world, Jay. Listen, when he nailed it, when he said most of you have had less schooling than Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Or Thornburg, however you pronounce her name.
Thornburg, yep.
These people, Jay, majority of these people couldn't handle us in a trivia contest. Let alone real knowledge.
Yeah.
I'll put my West Waterloo high school diploma against any one of these clowns. Let's go. Let's see what you had for an ACT score. Let's see what you had for a
it was
SAT score. Let's go. They're idiots. They're a bunch of idiots. They go around and they start fad diets. They join fad religions. What's the one? Scientology. They do all kinds of weird stuff. They have personal trainers so they can be skinny all day. Some of them lose weight and they look like... Look what happened to Matthew McConaughey when he played that role where he won the Oscar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Texas Buyers Club?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Look what he did to his body. Is that smart? No. Did win an Oscar, though. Good for you and your little gold trophy. Whatever. I don't know.
And then Renee Zellweger was going in and out of an accent. I think I put his. I was like, is she from Floribama Shore?
Look at how much plastic she put in her damn face.
Laura, but yeah, Brad Pitt's speech was good. So I mean, Joaquin Phoenix.
It's amazing that that's his first
something about
Oscar,
the cows and milk or something. Yeah. But I watched it. I didn't watch all of it. I watched the last 45 minutes, and meanwhile, really what I was trying to do in between, because it was my Amazon Fire Stick or whatever else, I was trying to upload to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just to start it. I was going to start it.
That's good.
Yeah, I need
That's
to watch
a good
it.
movie.
Yeah, I want to watch The Joker, too.
The Joker was okay. I just think it was overrated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it was bad. I'm just like, it just had this incredible amount of hype where I'm like, okay, it's good.
Are you going to watch Harley Quinn and whatever else it is?
When it hits rental.
Okay.
I'm not going to the movie theater, I don't think.
All right. Tomorrow.
Unless we start Dapper Crap back up.
Tomorrow, Bomber's going to be in studio. Coral from 7G will be here. Jake will join us from Elite Sportsbook. We had some things lined up today, but hey, life happens. And hey, you did a good job.
I do what I can, Jake.
You did a great job.
I do what I can.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Can I give a speech?
Yeah.
No.
I don't have enough time. Tomorrow. Save your speech for tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Peace out.